All right, folks, how you doing today on this brand new year, this brand new day? So I hope you got all your New Year expectations ready to go, and I hope you go on and complete them and stick to them and get them done and be successful or whatever you're trying to do. But yeah, we back here for just another quick video. I just want to stay on one of the topics that I think a lot of Americans are not paying attention to because it hasn't hit their cities yet. But this illegal immigration thing that's happening at the border is a real threat. And we got Joe Biden administration pretty much has an open door policy, and they're putting. I think all Americans got to pay attention because they can't bring in all these people and not end up in a city or someplace near you. There's no way in the world. Like, they're bringing in 250,000 people in one. I don't even know. Is it 1 year in Chicago? Like, you can't bring in that many people and not affect the actual local people and all the resources. See, let me tell you something. There's not a unlimited amount of resources. There is a finite amount of resources that goes around that takes care of certain areas and your schools and everything. You can't bring 250,000 of people into one area and think that it's not going to affect the local. See, the government understands. Joe Biden understands. The Democrats understand that somebody is going to be left out. Do you understand? And usually the people that are left out are black, of course. Of course, of course, of course. Of course, of course. So let's get into this video, cause see, this is really like Joe Biden is the worst. Like, if you hear this guy, like this is Jim Crow Joe. This is the dude who did the '94 crime bill to lock a whole bunch of black people up. Now these people are coming across the border committing all type of crimes and nobody is going to jail. They're gonna be in your neighborhood. They're not even vetting these people. They're like letting them free and giving them a court date. You don't know where they come from. Sexual assaulters, child molesters. Your kids got to walk through these streets and go to school. The kids in your family got to walk through the streets and go to school. Catch the bus. And you got some dude that nobody knows, haven't been vetted, lurking around the corner at your kids. You better pay attention to this. This is crazy. And like I told you, I told people, and some people would say, oh, when I talk against the Democrats, people would say, oh, you're a Republican. Like, I keep telling people, like, you don't have to be a Republican or be a Donald Trump supporter to get on the Democrats and Joe Biden's ass, to not like them. Do you understand? It's just like the Democrats and black people are in an abusive relationship, and the Democrats are the abusers. Do you understand? They're like, okay, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. Next year, I make sure you have what you need. Just come back to me. Just come back and vote for me again. I'm gonna give you what you need. And then they never give you nothing. It's only when that time come around when you're ready to walk out the door, they're like, no, listen, I got you. I'm telling you, I'm going to do it right now. Just come back. Then you come back and they still do the same thing. As you go give them your vote over and over again. So, like I've been telling black people who would say when I say what I'm saying, oh, you're a Donald Trump. Stop being so close-minded about that. Stop being so narrow-minded. I don't have to be a Donald Trump supporter to see what the hell the Democrats are doing to us right now. Putting all these illegal immigrants into your city. They come in breaking all type of laws. If you as a black person break one law, they trying to get your ass. You going to jail. They're trying to criminalize you at every step of the way. So let's not be so narrow-minded. I'm not a Donald Trump supporter. I'm an independent. I can't really stand either one of these political parties. That's why we need more than one party or something. We need something else instead of two corrupt, disgusting parties that we're forced to choose between two old, corrupt, disgusting people. You see what I'm saying? But just because I think you're old, corrupt, and disgusting, we have two choices. One choice might be a little bit better than the other. One choice might close the border so these people don't come into your neighborhoods and do something to your children and take all your resources. Or in Chicago, they trying to take your parks and they closing up your parks where your kids and senior citizens go, where the young kids go to have programs to stay out of the streets. They're trying to close those things up and take them away from the black community and put migrants in them. See, one administration might stop that. Just that stopping that alone means a lot to you and your community because you need those resources. If one party has said, oh yeah, I'm going to put a whole bunch of people right in your city to take all of your resources. And the other party says, we're going to stop that from happening. That alone stops that. That's economics. You understand? They come in and they will take the economics, be able to create spaces and start businesses, economics that should be in your pocket, in your neighborhoods. So that's how serious this is, you understand? But back to the abusive relationship. So if I want to get out of this abusive relationship and I decide not to vote for the Democrats, that doesn't mean I'm running to the next partner because I'm getting away from this abusive partner. That means I'm running to the next guy over here that's not that much better. I mean, the next person over here that's not that much better. That's not what we're doing as black voters. Just because we're not messing with Joe Biden doesn't mean we're running to Donald Trump, this other guy over here. They're both the same corrupt people. You see, they're not that far apart. Donald Trump may be a little bit different, but at the end of the day, his administration is going to do some of the same things the Biden administration is going to do. So that's just the short end of that stick is we need more than two parties. We need 3, 4. We should have. If you look at these other countries in Europe, they got all type different parties and parliaments and stuff that you can choose to, where just two groups don't have complete control, and you can never, unless you get into either one of these groups, you would never control power. So if you have two groups that have no interest in giving the people what they need, what can you do? You're stuck. So I just want to show you this video on how serious it is getting at the border. And I hope more Americans start paying attention to this because it's crazy. These people are like just coming in and they don't even care. Like they just flooding the zone. Like we coming in and y'all gonna give us housing, educate our kids. You gonna do all of this. We ain't paid one tax in this country. We ain't fought in one war. We ain't did not. And then after we get a little something, we're going to look at the black community that we're in and look at them like they're crazy. Listen to this.
Under invasion, tens of thousands of illegal immigrants have descended on the United States southern border with a free pass into the mainland following weak border policies from the Biden administration. Governors from Texas to New York are pleading with the White House to slam shut borders urgently or face the destruction of entire cities by an influx of migrants and a lack of resources. Sky News All-Stars James Morrow, Kristen Tate and Liz Storer take a deep dive into the Biden administration's response to the border crisis. The US-Mexico border is under siege. Tens of thousands of illegal immigrants are flooding into America with no checks or paperwork.
Did you hear that? Thousands and thousands of them are flooding in. They have another caravan of like 10 to 15,000 people that's coming right now towards the border. Where are these people supposed to go? These people, you don't know who's in this group, and they come with no paperwork. You don't know what's going on. They just letting these people. There has to be some type of agenda. Like, because this is just crazy. And the ones that, cause see, the sanctuary cities and the places that they're full to the capacity. They can't take care of these people no more. So some of these people are on the streets now. So they're stealing and robbing from people and doing all type of stuff. Prostituting, all type of stuff. Let's continue.
States to breaking point.
The crisis at the southern border is intensifying with tens of thousands of migrants crossing every week. Even more lined up at the border, and the numbers are telling the story. In August, Customs and Border Protection reported more than 232,000 migrant encounters, the highest on record, bringing the annual total to just over 2.2 million. Border cities like Eagle Pass and El Paso are now completely overwhelmed.
1 month, 230,000 of them. They're pretty much entering a whole nother country into our country. Where can Americans go and just go where and just flood some other person's country? They're dumping a whole nother country into our country. By the time they're done, I'm talking about millions of people from another country will be in your neighborhood. Everything will be stressed and packed to capacity. You think if you live in a place right now that traffic is messed up, add 250,000 more immigrants when they get their cars and can barely drive on your streets in one city. It's crazy. Let's continue.
And they're turning to state and federal officials for help.
The city of El Paso only has so many resources, and we have come to what we look at a breaking point right now.
The new surge could prompt more congressional action. On Monday, Congressman Tony Gonzalez, who represents Eagle Pass, is leading a delegation to meet with overworked border protection officers and see the crisis firsthand, warning the problem is spreading well beyond the border states.
Things continue to get worse locally. And oh, by the way, these people aren't staying in Texas. They're going to all parts of the country. So today it's Eagle Pass. Tomorrow it's your city.
Right.
Eagle Pass in Texas is the first port of call for migrants crossing the border. And according to Sky News All-Star James Morrow, the US government is actually encouraging illegal migrants to enter the country by intentionally destroying the barriers erected by Texas.
They said that the federal government is encouraging these people to come. Like Texas is putting up barriers so they can't just flood the United States. The federal government, on the direction of the Joe Biden's administration, is telling them to rip those things down and just let them flow through. This is unbelievable that your government has no care of your own safety in your neighborhoods. They're bringing all type of people and just plot them in your neighborhood, haven't even correctly vetted them or anything. This is unbelievable. Let's go. It's crazy. They coming to a neighborhood near you.
The Biden administration is also doing everything it can to facilitate the illegal border crossing crisis in the United States. Have a look at this. This is footage from Eagle Pass, Texas, which has just
Look at
declared a
thousands
state
of
of
them.
emergency.
Thousands.
And you can see
Thousands.
thousands of migrants streaming into the United
Look at
States
that.
from earlier this week when border officials literally opened the border to all comers. And I mean literally. Now, have a look at this. What you're seeing on your screen is video shared by the Office of Texas Governor Greg Abbott. And it shows Federal Border Patrol officials removing razor wire that Texas had installed to try and stem at least some of the flow. And indeed, we know that such deterrence works, which is why the Biden administration is trying to get rid of it. In this footage you see here, a group of Venezuelans is working out their next move.
You see, the federal agents ripped the wire barb apart. You saw the footage to allow them in. Aren't they supposed to be there protecting the border? Like, hey, you can't come in like this. You got to do illegal. There's laws. You got to do this legally. Like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? This is unbelievable. If you can't make this up, folks, like, this is what they're doing. There's got to be some type of agenda. There's got to be something going on. I can't believe it.
Move after finding out they can't cross at this particular point thanks to the razor wire, and that they should try again somewhere else. Now, the notion that maybe they should never have come at all apparently hasn't occurred to them, and it likely won't until a Republican takes over in the White House and gets...
Well, he's right about that. Not coming is probably your best option, or if you're going to come, you probably should do it the right way. That's just the way it is. We can't go to no other country and just step in and say, you're going to take care of us and put us up in hotels, educate our kids. We can't go anywhere and do that. Why should any other people think that we, the taxpayers, should have to? We're struggling. Do you see the people that's on our streets, sleeping on our streets? You will get a foot up, and in a little while, you'll be walking around looking down at the Americans sleeping on our streets as you used our tax dollars to get a foot up. It's just unbelievable. Let's go. And see, this is not anti-immigration for me. This is just economics. This is just what makes sense. Like, when it comes down to you having just a finite of, like I told you, of resources, we have to preserve our resources for our own people and our own children and our own families. This is not out of a hate towards those people who want to come find a better way. I understand some of them, but all of them, it's not like that. It ain't all of them. Some of them, we don't know what their background is. They even have, they just watch the news. They had some of these immigrants done kill little girls and all type of stuff already. Let's continue this video.
Serious about defending America's borders. Indeed, it seems like the White House has stopped paying even the least bit of lip service to the question of protecting America from the 10,000 illegal migrants coming into the country every day. That's, by the way, 300,000 a month now, which means more than 3 million a year at current rates.
Sky News All-Star Kristen Tate agrees, saying Joe Biden is to blame for welcoming the migrants in with his disastrous open border policies.
But we've never seen it.
You can't bring in 3 million other people year after year and not completely replace the population that's already here. At some point, it's going to be a whole nother country in our country. You can't make this up.
Surge like this. This is because the smugglers, the human smugglers, and pretty much everybody in Central America and Mexico realize that they've got to get in now because this is the U.S. president who is welcoming them in and telling them, come on in, we don't have a border. Only 23% of Americans approve of the way Biden is handling the border. That's not just Republicans. That's all Americans, this is a disaster. And it's one of those things that's kind of abstract, or has been abstract to a lot of coastal Americans who don't really deal with this problem firsthand. But as these sheer numbers, 10,000 a day in some cases, of people are coming across the border, they are going north, they are moving.
See, the governor of Texas is, because, see, you got to understand, I can understand at some point, like, if you're one of the border states and all these people are coming in, you can't take care of all these people. And if you have a government or a president that's saying, open up the borders, you're going to have to send them somewhere else. Because you can't, the math is not going to add up. The money doesn't add up. You can't take care. You just mathematically can't take care of all these people, even if you wanted to. You couldn't do it. So at some point, you do have to send these people otherwhere if the government is not going to do something about stopping the flow of illegal immigrants into the border. You're going to have to send them somewhere else. You're going to have to. So he's been sending these people to these cities that call themselves sanctuary cities. And now, in these sanctuary cities, are a lot of the two main ones are ran by black mayors who are stupid idiots who are about to take the fall for Joe Biden. They're taking all of the hit licks for Joe Biden right now. This is actually a Joe Biden Democrat policy, letting them all in. But the two black mayors of Chicago and New York are taking the hits for this. They're going to collapse the city, and they're going to end their political career. This is going to be their last show and go as mayor, as anything. They're not even going to be able to get a school president, school class president. Do you understand? They're done after this. And the Democrats use them as the whipping boys to take the fall. Because these are stupid, incompetent idiots. You see? Because if they were smart and you wanted to save your career, or at least have more support from your own constituents, what you would do is close the borders and say, hey, Biden ain't helping us, so can't nobody else come in here no more. That's just the way it's going to be.
To these cities like New York, Boston, LA, and people who live in these places that typically haven't been impacted as much by illegal immigration are suddenly waking up and saying, hey, this is a topic we need to care about. This is a disaster. This needs to stop now.
And the migrants don't stop in Texas. Once they enter the mainland, they spread to all corners of the country, including New York City, where the mayor, Eric Adams, has issued a dire warning.
Never in my life
Here you go.
have I had a problem that I did not see an ending to. I don't see an ending to this. I don't see an ending to this. This issue.
So why don't you do something about it and stop calling yourself a sanctuary city and take that title and reverse that title away? Because you can do that with an executive order, Mayor Pinball Head Adams. All right, I ain't gonna talk about nobody today. Okay.
Will destroy New York City.
The Biden administration has gone to great lengths to cover up the border crisis, with Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre downplaying the issue.
A record-setting 83,000 illegals crossed the border this week alone. That's more than 10,000 a day, and
Wow.
equivalent to a full-capacity crowd at a Dallas Cowboys game. Yet,
Wow.
according to the Biden administration and its increasingly beleaguered spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre, everyone should move along. There's nothing to see here. At least that's the perception she would like to create.
Our message has been very clear for the past couple of weeks, especially as we've been putting this plan together, really for the past 2 years.
Yeah, think about that footage we saw there. Does this really look like a plan? I mean, here are scenes yesterday from where a crowd of Haitians was preparing to storm the border into Texas from...
Yeah, I have to agree. Like, there's not really a plan, though. Y'all was putting together a plan. It doesn't look like they're putting together a plan. It looks like they're asleep somewhere. Look like Joe Biden sleep, the whole administration sleeps, where they're looking at the window like, what's going on out there? You are creating a disaster, and y'all Democrats are about to lose big in 24 because you don't see what's going on. You better do something about it. Even politically, if it seems like if Joe Biden and the Democrats want to win, it seems like you would do something about it politically. Because you only have I think they said 23% of people that agree with you or how you're handling this position. That means like 60 something or 70 something or whatever percentage does not agree with you about this. Because people are looking at this as their safety, the safety of their neighborhoods and the resources. I'm going to say it once again, we only have but so much finite of resources. You only have but so much. You can't take care of everybody. It's not possible. Let's continue.
Reynosa.
Jean-Pierre also deflected questions from journalists about the crisis and eventually downright refused to provide an answer.
What do you call it here at the White House when 10,000 people illegally cross the border in a single day?
So what do you call it, Peter, when GOP puts forth wait, no, you can't. I'm answering. Okay, we're gonna move on. No, we're moving on. In the back.
You said you were stopping the flow of the border.
Wow, you see, she doesn't even really want to answer the question. This is what you get from the Biden's administration when they do come out. When they do finally come out, she don't even want to answer the question. Because it's hard to answer the question, how are you letting thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people just cross the border every day? How is that possible? How are we going to be able to manage all of this financially? We're not even taking care of our own citizens.
No, I tried to answer, Peter, I tried to answer the question, you stopped me. Let's go.
Biden's border disaster has sent his approval ratings plummeting, with the American people losing faith in the president's ability to control the situation.
There's just this simple question of job approval. Barely 40% approve of Joe Biden's performance.
And we have to note, 56%. That's the highest
He's about to
disapproval
lose
rating for
big.
President Biden since he took office. That's significant.
One big
They're
area,
about to lose
no surprise,
big.
it is the economy. Look at this contrast. This is April of 21, months after Biden took office. Nearly half the country was satisfied with where the economy was then. Now, barely one in four Americans satisfied.
Wow.
Star Liz Storer says Biden's weak
72% of
could
people
cost him
are
big time.
Well, will failure to
72% of people are disappointed in how he's handling the economy. Now, with the fluctuation of all these other people coming into your city and you see things getting cut and the budget all messed up, that's even doubling it on top of that. Why would anybody go out and vote for Joe Biden? He falling up the stairs. He don't even, if you see him walk, he don't know if he be on the stage, he'll be like, oh, he be shaking imaginary people's hands and nobody be there and stuff. He'd be like, what is going on here? Why are they pushing this person on us like this? This is unbelievable. And the least the Democrats could do is run somebody else who's a little younger and got, doesn't look like an old, dried up fossil or corpse. He looks like a dug up corpse. And this is who they're pushing you on with. All right.
secure the Mexican border end up costing Biden big time? This is the big question. We're seeing it starting to reflect.
I'm going to end that video there. I just want to get people's minds on what's going on outside of the world. I know we're all busy, but you got to pay attention because things like this is going to affect you. This is going to affect you if these illegal people are dumped in your city. Their kids are going to be dumped in the schools where your kids go to. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that takes resources. That means more crowded classrooms. That's going to affect your children, their education. all the resources that goes to the things that you need in your neighborhood. It's going to affect all of that. So you got to pay attention. So I'm trying to get people's minds opened up to things that's going on outside, especially when it has to deal with black people, because that's what they're mainly doing. They're putting most of these people in black neighborhoods. You see? So hit the like button. If you learn something that you didn't know, hit the like button. And if you want to continue to keep learning things that you don't have the time to look up for yourself, but I can tell it to you, hit the subscribe button as well. We're out.